You've heard many coaches around the league say it. You've heard our coaches say it, and you have heard me say it. The best ability is availability. And the Detroit Lions, ladies and gentlemen, are getting healthy. And they seem to be doing this reverse curve. I was reading an article the other day, and it just confirmed what my thoughts already were. The Lions seem to be getting healthy, while the rest of the league is seemingly starting to enter the dog days of the season where they're starting to get hurt more and more. But the Detroit Lions are getting healthy. Now, it's not to say we've been healthy all year. You all remember the beginning of the year where we're just decimated by injuries, where nobody's watching this channel or other Lions channels because we're starting 1-6. Everybody's hurt. We're throwing out videos talking about how the injuries are just destroying us as a team. But now we're getting healthy. So let's look at the first injury report that has been put out this week. And oh my goodness, does it look better. Here, read this headline right here. The Detroit Lions have a couple of bumps and bruises, but only 2 players missed Wednesday's walkthrough for the New York football. Well, that's the football Giants. It's the New York Jets, 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 right? And so let's look at what this means. All right. So first we have our IR. It talks about only 2 are ineligible, but we have to also talk about the people that are on the IR. So the people that are struggling a little bit that we are missing our offensive lineman Tommy Kramer. Remember, backup guard. He really hasn't played. Edge Charles Harris just hasn't been able to get going this year. Julian Okwara, but we got his brother Romeo back. Chase Lucas, not a big deal. Bobby Price, not a big deal. Trinity Benson, absolutely not a big deal. And then we have 2 guys that are on the evaluation clock, Quintez Cephas and Craig Reynolds. We've proven to be okay without both of them, even though I do miss Craig Reynolds a little bit. Justin Jackson has filled in absolutely admirably. So now we have no practice for 2 guys. Coyote Iwasaka, so this, if you are like, who is Coyote Iwasika? Coyote is the backup to the backup to the backup guard. He is a guy that we brought in not that long ago who made a spot start when we had 2 guards in against the Jags. And then actually the week before, it was 2 missing guards. He played for the first time against the Bills on Thanksgiving. And then he actually got the start at guard over Skipper and over Stenberg and anyways over Nelson. And he actually got the start against the Jags, but now he has hurt his ankle. He was out last week. And you saw Logan Stenberg in there, who, of course, did not grade well. So really, of these 2, the one that hurts the most is somehow Coyote Iwasika. Like, that's the one that hurts the most. Barnes has been playing pretty well, but we still have Chris Board. We still have Malcolm Rodriguez. And Jared Davis actually has been playing pretty good. Derek Barnes and Jared Davis, I'm convinced, are the exact same human. They're the exact same player. They're just different ages. So this doesn't actually hurt us that much. If that is what we can do coming in, that is great. Now let's talk about the limited practices. Evan Brown gets in a limited practice. It is trending toward him returning, and therefore our offensive line would be as intact as it's been all year. That would be huge. The left tackle ankle, Taylor Decker, that worries me a little bit, but he got a limited practice in. This could be more of the bumps and bruises. We are going to give him a little rest along with Ragnow. What I love is you got Will Harris getting in a limited practice. I love Kabinda getting in a limited practice. This says it's a new injury. New as in he hurt it during the game. We all saw it happen when he got rolled up on. I love when fullbacks get rolled up on. When anybody gets rolled up on, isn't that just like the worst thing? So your Detroit Lions are getting healthy ahead of the game against the New York Jets. I think this is, I don't know. I have a good feeling about this game, but this is also one of those tricky games. You're feeling good. You're 5-1, and now you're going on the road, and you're going into the Meadowlands. You've been there before. You've played the Giants when the Giants were like 7-3 or 7-2, and you beat the Giants, and you're just like, all right, we're feeling good. Now you're playing the Jets. The Jets are reeling. They're reeling a little bit. and they're falling out of contention here. And I think what we have to realize is that this is still a talented team, and the offense has struggled. They have. They've lost their starting running back. Their quarterback room is just kind of a disaster right now, and they thought they figured some things out with White, but then he hurt his ribs. But this defense is good, like as good as it gets in the NFL. I think this is a top 5 defense. They've been playing like one, and for this team to have a winning record with the offense that they have, they've had to play like one. They have playmakers and stars at every level of the defense. So we need to have a healthy team going into this. And there's no telling what the weather is going to be. I haven't looked into it, but it's New York, right? It's New York in December. So it's going to be cold. Not as cold as Green Bay will be in January, but it's going to be cold. So this is the stretch for the Lions. This final 4 games. Can we stay healthy? Can we win these games when it counts? We've gotten ourselves back to 6-7 after a 1-6 start. Can we go 6-1? Can we get back to 500? And then can we get over the hump against the Panthers? I would love to see it. I think we would all love to see it. But these are the games in the past. The Lions, you guarantee they will lose. But that doesn't mean this is the same Lions team. And I want you all to hear me on this. This is not the same football team as in the past. And even if they lose one of these games, it doesn't mean that they are the same football team. And see, when it matters, they don't win. No, these games have mattered for the last 3, 4, 5 weeks, and they're winning. The Vikings game was huge, and they won it. The Jacksonville game was like, all right, prove it to me. You got 2 4-7 teams. They smoked them. They slaughtered them. They played very well against the Bills. By the way, on that injury report, another name that may as well have been injured last week was Jeff Okudah. He's back. He's fully healthy. He's not sick anymore. Dude only played like 35% of the snaps, and man, did we miss him. So we were without our starting and our third corner for the vast majority of the game. And oh my goodness, we still came away with a big victory. But don't kid yourself. That's why Kirk Cousins threw for 212 yards to Justin Jefferson. That's why I threw for over 400 yards. Sorry, I'm digressing. But what I want to talk about is realizing like this is not the same Lions team. We're winning games that we would not win in the past. We are beating good football teams, especially at least record-wise. We are beating those teams, the teams that in the past we just beat the bad teams. And especially under Matthew Stafford, we all know the record. We all know the records, and we all know his record against good winning teams. All right, that was a lack of talent. This team now has talent. We're young, but there's talent there. That talent's healthy. It's developing, and that young talent is developing, whether it's a lot of guys in year 2 or even rookies that are heavy contributors. And that's why this team is playing so much better during the middle and down the end stretch of this season, because young players are getting better, and now they're at the point where they're good enough to compete and win at the NFL. This is an exciting time, and now we're healthy, and we're able to see what a healthy complement of players is able to do, and they've been 5-1. Let's see if they can keep it up. See you on the next one. Hit the subscribe button. Peace out.